India's position in the global political and technological arena is increasing at an unprecedented speed. With over 60% of its population being youth, India, the largest democracy, is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. This means the demand for energy will be humongous. Fossil fuels are the largest contributors to the global energy needs, with over 85% share. The energy consumption has been growing at 6.5% per annum, and the petroleum reserves are depleting rapidly. With India's economic growth rate of over 7% and growing population, demand for fuel is ever increasing. A conservative estimate suggests that another 315 million people will be added to our urban areas by 2030. India is expected to consume 3 times more energy than the present consumption. Nearly 70% of the rural population in India is dependent on inefficient, polluting, biomass-based devices for cooking and heating. This has increased pressure on our flora and has resulted in pollution. This has also made rural women vulnerable to indoor pollution and subjected to several respiratory health issues. Transportation sector accounts for 70% of diesel and 99% of petrol consumption in India. With the emphasis on improved rail network, today we see a major surge in demand for energy from locomotive sector also. Massive traffic congestions lead to increased consumption of fuels and higher pollution levels. Our skies are clouded with pollution in metros and small towns alike. India hogs a lion's share in the world energy consumption and carbon emissions due to its heavy dependency on fossil fuels. Meeting the growing energy demand from various sectors is a major challenge. India's petroleum reserves are not adequate to meet our demand. India's consumption amounts to 156.1 million metric ton of crude oil in 2016-17. whereas the domestic production stood at 34.12 million metric ton. More than 80% of our domestic consumption are met through imports. Indian crude oil import is creating a huge strain on foreign exchange outflow in the range of 5 to 7 lakh crore rupees annually. Coal and LPG are also imported to meet our domestic demands. More than 50% of electricity generated in India is through thermal power plants fueled by coal. Their emissions too add hugely to air pollution and GHG emissions. Other energy options like large hydro and nuclear power projects are posing serious environmental challenges and are facing opposition from the society. India is an agrarian society. Agriculture contributes 17% to India's GDP. However, it is the source of sustenance for nearly 60% of India's population. In the process of ensuring food security to its people, there is a need for higher agricultural production, which means more demand for energy. Today, the scientific advancements have increased life expectancy and improved our standard of living. But these advancements also imply an unprecedented assault on finite natural resources and affecting natural balance. This human-induced imbalance is already playing havoc on the very existence of our planet. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's vision to bring down the fossil fuel imports by 10% of 2016 level by 2022 is not only a leap towards our energy security, but also a huge global initiative towards sustainable development. Growing energy demand, geopolitical situations and environmental concerns have compelled India to explore renewable, environmental friendly and sustainable energy alternatives. Solar, wind, geothermal and tidal energies can meet partially the energy demands from various sectors ranging from domestic consumption, transportation to industrial applications. Unproductive and carbon-intensive domestic consumption should be replaced with locally raised bioenergy for which resources are found in abundance. Government of India, under the leadership of Shri Narendra Modi, has been driving the bioenergy program through various ministries, such as Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Power and Ministry of Defence. Research and development in the bioenergy sector has been spearheaded by organizations such as DBT, DST, CSIR, ICAR and Defence Labs. Our research and educational institutions such as IITs, IISc, ICT, agricultural universities, many engineering colleges along with several private industries and public sector undertakings are playing a significant role in development and popularizing the technology. Today, efficient and environmentally safe technologies have been developed in India. In the last 3 to 4 decades, several technology packages were developed by Indian researchers to generate electricity efficiently with agriculture residues. India, being an agrarian society, produces over 1 billion metric ton of agri-residue annually from 10 major crops. A significant part of it is used as fodder, manure and as fuel. Still, nearly 350 MMT is burnt by farmers on their fields as they can't use it nor monetize it. The burning of these surplus agricultural residues has resulted in severe environmental and health problems. If this surplus agricultural residue is made available to industries with application of appropriate technologies, it has the potential to contribute significantly to energy sector. Fast urbanization of India, rising incomes, better spending capability, enhanced consumption levels have resulted in generating of huge quantities of solid waste. It is estimated about 450 to 500 million metric ton of municipal solid waste or MSW and 38 billion litres of sewage is generated in the urban areas of India. The extent of land needed for disposal, costs of collecting and transporting waste and the environmental impacts are alarming. India has developed technologies to convert these wastes into value-added products such as biomanure, biogas, electricity and other liquid fuels. India has a total of 390 million hectare land, of which the arable land is around 195 million hectares. This is fully held by our farmers. Only about 40 to 50 million hectares is irrigated where more than one crop a year is harvested. Around 100 million hectare of land is rain-fed, where only one crop is being raised and is left unutilized for 7 months a year. Nothing is grown in nearly 50 million hectare of arable land and left barren for years due to various reasons. It is possible for us to grow trees and other crops to produce more food, fodder and feedstock for bioenergy program. This would not only optimize utilization of the wasteland, but also can help generate more income and realize Prime Minister's vision of doubling farmers' income in 5 years. Biomass resources are reasonably well distributed across India compared to other renewable sources. The emerging uses of biomass take the advantages of modern biomass conversion technologies such as efficient combustion, clean pyrolysis, improved gasification and anaerobic methanation and fermentation. These meet energy needs of heating, electricity, liquid and gaseous transportation fuels and so on. There is an immense potential for modern uses of biomass energy in rural India, especially in domestic cooking. The innovative chulhas and other simpler technologies have resulted in efficient burning of biomass, reduction in indoor pollution, and have addressed related health issues. India achieved bio-alternatives such as biogas over a century ago. Biogas, largely known as gobar gas, can be produced from raw materials such as animal waste, sewage, green waste or food waste, fecal matter and cow dung. The biomass produced can be used as a fuel for cooking, in gas-fueled engines, generate electricity, and other applications such as fumigation and refrigeration. Individual and community-promoted such biogas plants are a reality now in many villages. Biogas can also be produced from sewage water. Few wastewater treatment plants are producing it in the country, which is minuscule compared to the potential. Otherwise, pollutants such as spent wash are converted into biogas to run gas engine that generates on-site power and as heat source at sugar mills and distilleries. There are successful examples of small home-based biogas plants of 1 to 2 kg per day capacity. Food waste-based biogas plants of 100 to 500 kg per day capacity to fuel their canteens are operational in many college campus and industries. Municipal solid waste-based 1,000 to 5,000 kg per day biogas plants are also operating successfully. World's largest food waste to biogas plants, a 300 ton per day capacity plant, is also proven commercially viable. End-to-end plants that generate, upgrade and dispense biogas are a reality in India, which are the torchbearers of Indian bioenergy economy. The digested residue has proved to be a good compost for sustainable agriculture. The studies by leading agencies suggest that in a decade's time, innovative technology of biomass-fueled electricity generation shall substantially meet the world's power demand. Compressed biogas is an excellent substitute for CNG and can be used in vehicles as fuel. If augmented rightly with animal husbandry and agriculture sectors along with suitable supply chain mechanism, a parallel methane economy, the biogas economy, could be a reality soon. Biogasifier is a chemical reactor unit where thermochemical processes convert biomass to biogas. Biomass materials such as wood, charcoal, rice husk and coconut shell can be easily converted into fuel that can directly be burnt with high efficiency and a good degree of control without emitting any smoke. Such controlled burning releases producer gas comprising of carbon monoxide, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, methane and nitrogen with very high calorific value that can take temperature up to 1100 degrees centigrade. In energy terms, the conversion efficiency of the gasification process is in the range of 80 to 90%. The residue, biochar, is used as a heating fuel. Few plants that use municipal solid waste to produce biogas are successful in Bengaluru, Pune, Mumbai and other places that produce electricity by gasification route. Ethanol blending is the practice of mixing ethanol with petrol to reduce consumption of fossil fuel. Many countries, including India, have adopted ethanol blending in petrol to reduce vehicle exhaust emissions and reduce the import burden of crude oil. In the year 2016-17, India blended 111 crore litres of ethanol in petrol, which amounts to about 4% of the petrol consumption. This resulted in replacement of around 1.8 million barrels of crude oil. Currently, in India, bioethanol is produced only from sugar molasses, which is a limited source. Ethanol can also be produced from non-food agro-residual biomass such as wheat straw, corn stalks, sawdust, rice straw, drop paper pulp, wood chips, energy cane, sorghum, bagasse, other agro-residues and municipal solid wastes. Biomass, which contains cellulose and hemicelluloses, are converted into sugars and then fermented into ethanol. Ethanol produced from lignocellulosic biomass is second generation. There are several technologies developed and commercialized across the globe. India also has developed two technologies that are comparable with the best. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has already directed the oil marketing companies to set up 12 commercial plants in 11 states. Many projects in the private sector are also in the pipeline. There is a huge potential to set up several hundreds of such plants in India. A plant processing unit of about 400 to 500 tons of biomass per day can generate 1 lakh liters of ethanol per day and byproducts such as biogas, biomanure and bioelectricity. Of the 350 million metric ton agri-residue that is burnt, even if we use 100 MMT of agri-residue, we can produce 22 to 25 million metric ton of bioethanol, which is equal to the present total consumption of petrol in India. Bioproducts such as biogas and biomanure are commercially valuable, and lignin, another byproduct, can be used as a fuel to generate electricity. The very fact that the consumption of diesel is 4 times that of the petrol consumption itself underlines the dire need for an alternate fuel such as biodiesel. Any oil can be transformed into biodiesel. National policy on biofuels mandates production of biodiesel only by non-edible oil seeds such as pongamia, jatropha, simaruba, neem, maua and so on. Currently, India has a built-up capacity to produce 1.2 million metric ton of biodiesel a year. This is sufficient for just 1% blending. The production capacity is underutilized, and most of the biodiesel produced is based on imported feedstock such as palm stearine. In order to achieve higher blends, we have to locally produce required feedstock. We need to grow oil seeds at very huge quantities. These tree species can be integrated with agriculture in the agroforestry model. These trees can also be grown on marginal and wastelands with very little inputs. We can grow crops such as castor and kanaf as second crop, which has very short gestation period of 4 to 5 months on farmers' land where only one crop is being raised every year. The oil from these oil seeds can be converted into biodiesel. The de-oiled cake is an excellent organic manure and also has a very good pesticidal properties. These cakes, when detoxified, can also serve as a fodder. The fossil fuel consumption by transport and other domestic sectors should be phased out by biofuels from renewable, economically viable, environment-friendly and sustainable resources. We have seen few snapshots of the options to switch over. What we consider as waste today can be transformed into energy. In this process of transformation, every bit of biomass is used to produce bioethanol, biogas, biomanure and bioelectricity. These 4 biocomponents not only ensure energy security but also safeguard food security. Bioenergy is carbon neutral and reduces pollution. It is renewable and sustainable. Bioenergy brings in additional income to farmers. It helps reduce input costs of agriculture. Bioenergy helps farmers to produce their own energy. It creates a huge potential for skill development. Bioenergy has a huge potential to set up rural industry for value addition. It helps reduce import dependency, saves valuable foreign exchange.
ऊर्जा क्षेत्र में आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए कई योजनाएं, कई नई पहल शुरू किया है। ईंधन ऊर्जा ग्राहकों की क्रय शक्ति की आधार पे हो, वो घर के लिए हो, ट्रांसपोर्ट सेक्टर के लिए हो या समूचा ऊर्जा हो, ये अफोर्डेबिलिटी ऑफ कंज्यूमर, ग्राहकों की क्रय शक्ति एक प्रमुख चुनौती हम लोगों के सामने है।
The transformation from the unsustainable to clean energy needs people's participation. We have the necessary resources, technologies and successful demonstrations before us. Now it's time for us to mainstream such technologies and convert all our wasted resources to meet our energy needs and create a new bio-based economy in the country. This is not an appeal for some austerity measure, but a call to reorient people to a sustainable lifestyle. This transformative process demands total committed participation of all stakeholders. Today, there is a need to make bioenergy studies as a part of the curriculum. The challenges in the bioenergy sector throws up a lot of research and career opportunities. As the bioenergy sector grows, there will be a huge demand for agricultural residues. Farmers can earn additional income by harvesting, aggregating and storing the biomass scientifically and selling it to bioenergy industry instead of burning it. Farmers can adopt simple technologies for producing bioenergy to meet their cooking, heating and any energy requirement of their agricultural activities. Rural women are the major beneficiaries of bioenergy as it reduces the drudgery and ill effects of health. Women can get involved in the entire value chain of activities, which will go a long way in empowering them. People can avail limitless benefits by Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas sponsored Startup India program, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council's grants and many such schemes to set up industry on innovative ideas. Organized utilization of all wasted resources such as agri-residues and municipal solid waste itself is realizing Swachh Bharat. This leads to a Swasth Bharat. The entrepreneurial possibilities in the bioenergy value chain leads us to Make in India. All these activities will help us achieve Skilled India. Let us join hands to make India energy self-reliant, combat global warming and mitigate climate change as envisioned by our Prime Minister. Let us transform India into Sasya Shamala Bharat, a Sujala Suphala Bharat. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India is committed to walk an extra mile. Are you